I learned so much about color, about the color palette of the voice, about the different sounds I'm able to produce, the different quality of voice you can have, if it's breathy or if it's very like stringent and very focused. And I really use this now for my classical singing too. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Nils. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Is all well there with you? And are you healthy?
I'm healthy. I'm fine. Thank you so much. I have 2 days off, which I love to spend at home. So I'm with my partner in my home in Stuttgart. And then I have to travel again. So I'm excited to see you today on my day off. It's beautiful.
Yes. Oh, thank you for your time. It's wonderful to speak to you. I'm so fascinated by your work. Really. And you are a countertenor and you're also a choreographer.
That's correct, yeah.
So tell me about this St. Petersburg as a single release.
Yes, I'm really excited about this. When the first time Corona hit us all as artists, I had the chance to do things I never thought I would do. Maybe I wasn't brave enough or something, or maybe I was too much in my classical music world. And I knew if I ever have the time to do anything else, it's now. And so I had the chance to work with Peter Blate and Ulf Sommer from the band Rozenstolz, quite famous German pop band. And they asked me already if I want to maybe record a song with them. And I was so excited. It's a song about the forbidden love of two men. And it's really political and something I am burning for because I'm an ambassador of the German AIDS Foundation. So I was like, let's do this. And so I went to Berlin. I drove to Berlin. I recorded this song. And today it's now 1 week online. We already have over 77,000 views on YouTube, which is really cool.
Amazing.
I'm really excited.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. As a classical artist, those are numbers we normally don't experience. So it's really beautiful to see that many people are following this journey and are interested, and there is much more to come now. And it was a really good start for me, to be honest.
But really, this is so wonderful that in lockdown, I mean, I've spoken to many artists over the lockdown period as well. And I have noticed also that people started tapping into their creativity so much more, and that and it's almost as if they had or if artists had a bit more freedom to do things that they normally wouldn't have. And now you're saying that you collaborated with a pop band or yeah. And did they approach you, or how did this come about?
Yes, we had some mutual friends from Berlin who always said you have to work with Nils, and told me, Nils, you have to work with Rozenstolz, because I was always creative. And even in the classical world, I sing a lot of roles which are maybe not necessary for countertenor, or I like to dress differently. I like to sing, dance, act on stage. I was never this maybe typical opera singer. I see myself more as an artist just in general. And to sing opera was just one of many tools where I can really release my artistry and my energy. And so when I met them, they were so incredibly nice and humble and amazing. I knew, okay, that's the right way for me to go. They know how to treat every voice type. They knew what I like about singing, where my soft spots, where's my chocolate side in the voice. And they really made it so easy for me to step into this world. And I have now a project called Wanderer, which is my last name, Wanderer, where we are exploring the world of Baroque music, which meets techno sounds, techno sounds. And we will be in Vienna next year for the Electronic Church Festival, for example. And I'm really excited to now find new ways to be free as an artist and to really express my urges and my emotions.
Yeah. But isn't this wonderful? Because am I right to say that there might be sometimes, and not from the classical world, but from the non-classical world, almost as if opera singing is above everything, and that pop singers are not, or don't necessarily have the same credit as an opera singer. And of course, yes, you all study very hard and you work, you have all this technique and so on, but yet there are so much into pop music that we should not discredit, and that there are many very wonderful artists who compose and create in such wonderful ways.
Yes, absolutely. I really admire those artists. I had the chance to meet now many of them, and not only do they sing, they also produce, they create, they compose, they arrange. It's incredible how much artistry, how much musical knowledge they have. And yes, I know the stigma about opera singers being the real singers, and then the others are like a little bit. I don't see the same. I learned so much about color, about the color palette of the voice, about the different sounds I'm able to produce, the different quality of voice you can have, if it's breathy or if it's very like stringent and very focused. And I really use this now for my classical singing too, like in song, for example, Kunstlied, to have the chance to really paint with your color palette and to really express the lyrics and honor the tradition, but also bring it into a new era, new world, like 21st century. So I learned a lot from working with a microphone, recording, listening to myself, and exchanging thoughts with other artists, which are maybe in the pop or in the techno world. It's amazing for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I love these things. I love when genres come together. Really, I think that is so wonderful, because I think it's really not that far apart. If we really go and investigate, it's I think it's some way there's this interconnection between all the genres.
Yeah.
But now, and this specific theme, did that appeal to you? You say you are a part of the AIDS Foundation, or just yeah. So, and the theme was very important for you as well.
Yes, I mean, to be honest, it was beautiful that it was a song which I could use to support the AIDS Foundation. Maybe you know that every cent of the single will be donated to the AIDS Foundation. So whatever we make with it will be donated to the AIDS Foundation, which I think is beautiful. But I would also have sung it if it wasn't about same sex or same sex relationships, because I was really, really interested in exploring my voice, exploring new music. So it was amazing to have this topic, but I would also have sung about hot. So I would have the same.
But St. Petersburg, the title, where did the title, what is the meaning of the title?
St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg is a city in Russia, and it's we tried to catch the atmosphere of this beautiful city, of this very royal city with beautiful castles and buildings. And then kind of in the opposite, we have the situation of our LGBTQ plus community, which are still suffering in many parts of the world, of course. And it's always about, we already won the fight and there's already everything is okay, but actually it's not. So that's something we wanted to put a spotlight on in a very, I would also say, in a very gentle way. It's not about making this and saying, oh guys, it's about opening eyes. It's about building bridges. It's not about destroying those bridges. It's about building bridges. And today, for example, Cuba released in a historic moment that now same-sex marriage and adoption is possible in Cuba, which is, I think, so beautiful. Those progress. And yes, it's maybe about honoring the tradition and still bringing it to the new century and trying to be as gentle as possible, but still political.
Well, it's wonderful how art can really speak in such a way. And like you say, it's nothing aggressive. It's really just a beautiful piece of work, and it's speaking in this way. And I think this is so important, that we realize how art can bring people together, and how art can subtly also send out messages and educate.
Yes.
Yeah. But now, Nils, I want to know, where did you start in music? What age were you when you started?
Yes, when I was 4 years old, I went to a boys' choir, the Capella Vocalis in Reutlingen in Germany. And I became a boy soprano soloist. I come from a very humble background of craftsmen. I love my parents. They, till this day, are my biggest supporters, and they come to every concert and really do everything for me. And they're very. My father's actually a bodybuilder. He listens to rock music. He's a motorbiker, but because of me, he started to listen to classical music, and now he knows the operas better than I do. So it's really amazing how this process went on with my parents and my whole family, actually. And so I went to a boys' choir, and then I went on a boarding school in Maulbronn, at the monastery Maulbronn, where I got highly educated in music, ancient languages, and theology. And I started to have really proper vocal lessons there. And of course, I was already a dancer and worked with a dancer and was dancing around and being in movies as an actor. So I always knew what I want in life somehow. And after that, after my Abitur, after my final graduation from school, I wanted to become a theologist. And
Really?
I already had a stipendia at the University of Tübingen. But I said, you know what, there's still this urge in me. I really, really want to sing. It's my life. It's like what makes me so happy. And it's the only thing I can imagine doing for the rest of my life, actually. So I went to a Berufsfachschule für Musik in Dinkelsbühl. It's like between the stage of school and university, there's something in between where you can get educated, you can become a choir conductor for non-professional ensembles, you can start singing there, and so on. And at the end of the day, I made a preparation year there where I had all the technical singing lessons and music theory, piano playing, conducting. I conducted a boys man choir with people the whole year, and it was amazing. And I can only recommend that, because I was so young and I didn't know what I want. And after this, I knew what I want. I had a great time without pressure, with really focusing on my singing. One of the best vocal teachers ever, to be honest, till today, one of my really big inspirations, beautiful woman. And then I studied.
Who is she? What is her name?
Her name is Birgit Ströbel-König. She is a singer, a soprano. She's also a vocal therapist. And I think she found the right way with young voices between technical and musical education, presence, strength, but she also took care about our souls and about our psyche, and which I think is very, very important. Yeah. And for someone we knew, it's a safe spot. We can talk to her, and with our little children problems. It was really, really beautiful. And then I studied in Weimar, singing and music theater at the University of Music Franz Liszt with Professor Siegfried Goritz, who's also a mentor for me till today. So I never had a lot of voice teachers. I always stuck to my voice teachers, and I was always happy with that. And but as a baritone, not as a countertenor. I started as a baritone because I didn't know it's possible to study as a countertenor. And I was also the first countertenor in my university who ever studied as a countertenor. So I was the first one. And then one day,
isn't it a huge jump from one to the other?
Actually, I always felt natural in both ways. Till today, I'm in my man voice. I always use also my chest voice for dramatic moments where other countertenors use their head voice. I have no break between my chest and my head voice, which is really easy for me to sing in the box. That's quite sonor sounds. So I love to sing with my chest voice also. And then at one point I said to my teacher, you know what, Siegfried, there is something in me I have to show you. Maybe you will laugh at me. And I sang for him Lascia più pianga, the beautiful aria of Almirena, Handel's Rinaldo. And he was like, okay, now we have to change everything. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that's what you have to do for now. Maybe in 30 years you want to become a dramatic tenor or like a high lyric baritone, we don't know, but yet is the time for you to sing in your real voice. And everything was so easy for me. So it was like effortless for me to sing in this high voice. I didn't have to work so much, and it came very beautifully together somehow. And 2 weeks later, I sang my first Christmas oratorio by Bach as an alto. And so just jumped into the cold water. And since then, I never stopped singing as a countertenor. And now I am sometimes exploring the world of the male voice, but I stick to my countertenor voice. I love it. It's who I am. Yeah.
But it just shows you when it comes naturally, then it's no effort really, you know, when it's your thing.
Yes.
Amazing story. And and it's also wonderful for me always to hear about the teachers, because I think the teachers play such an important role, and how they teach, you know, it's not like you say, it's not just about the technique, but that it's really it's about the whole person.
Yes, I think technique is the fundament of singing. It's the only way you can survive in this industry. But if you don't have a teacher who also gives you a stability, mental stability, then it's very difficult as a singer to survive, because you are always confronted with great emotions in all the ways. And I think it's important to have a person who really understands you as an artist and also as a person, as a human being. So I was really lucky with my 2 teachers. And then when I went on for the opera course at the Guildhall School of Music, I had my first teacher who is a countertenor, Andrew Watts. So I really had the chance to refine my voice with somebody who really knows what he's talking about in my specific voice type. And that was also like for me a golden 2 years, where I learned so much, also the English language and finding new repertoire. And I was always surrounded by good and supportive people and friends, which is really something rare. I know that, but I was really lucky with that. And I'm grateful for that, because if you have no self-confidence as a singer and you don't feel you are at least good enough for something, then it's actually so hard, even if you're good, to really reach anything. You have to be kind of fake it till you make it. And once you make it, then it goes. And it was really a very good time for me with good people, although there were challenges and of course problems, like everybody has it. But I think we made it. It's kind of good.
Wonderful. Well, but maybe it's also your energy, you know, because that you attract these people, that you have such a good at ease feeling in yourself, you know, because there's this that I pick up also on your Instagram and your stories, and so you are really at ease with the artist that you are, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. But now tell me, and your family, you say your mom and dad, they're not musical. Are they not? You don't come from a musical family?
Not at all. Nobody.
Really?
Literally nobody.
That's amazing.
Nobody who does music. They all listen to rock music. They love rock music. I love rock music too. I think those are the most incredible singers. But they really always supported my way, and they always said, whatever you want to do, we will be there 100%. And today it will be changes. They really know a lot about music, especially they have good ears. Like they know if something right or wrong, they know. That's sometimes cruel, but it's really good to have it.
Well, you want to know the truth from the people who are closest to you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But and now about your dancing. Tell me about your dancing.
Yes, I was a professional dancer. I was a champion in Latin dances, and
wow.
salsa, rumba, cha-cha, bachata, paso doble, tango. And then I went on to also work in the field of modern dance. And I always knew that I don't want to be a dancer in this way. I don't want to be on stage dancing all the time. But I wanted to create was me, Wanderer, who I am today, who is a person who can sing but also move on stage and who can express his artistic thoughts through movement and through singing. So what I love today is to be a choreographer, to work with, for example, movement improvisation, to work with many people on stage, to really create those statuesque pictures, to create atmospheres, energies. And especially now in the pop music world, I felt it was the best thing I could have invested into my dancing education and career, that I'm now able to really create my own shows and to really know what I really want when I do songs. And I have my own dance team behind me with dancers I love to work with. And I also danced 2 years ago at the production of Monteverdi's L'Orfeo at the Lancerais Opera. As a singer, I was there, but we were all also dancing. It was very challenging and very beautiful. And so today, for me, I'm not a dancer. I would say I am a choreographer who works on many opera houses, and I also direct my own operas. I did Dido and Aeneas by Purcell at the monastery in Maupon, for example, and stuff like that. And it's for me now something I really treasure, and I know it's important to have. So for me also, I think it's very important as a singer to have a movement education, that you know how to behave on stage, how you have your posture going and everything. And it's really the best thing I could have done for my career as a singer. Yeah.
Well, actually, interesting that you say that, because yesterday I spoke to Mario Cassi, and he, the baritone, and he said that movement is so important for the voice. We were talking about healthy living and so on, and he said that movement is so important for the voice, you know, so activity and so on. And now that you mentioned that, that's you know, you never think of that. Well, as a non-musician, you always think, okay, well, it's maybe just about the voice, but there's so much more in the body that needs to be worked to get to that point.
Even for example, even standing still is an own art form. If you stand in front of a piano and sing a Liederabend, a song recital, you have to know what your body does. You have to understand how your body does not move, for example. And that's something I do a lot. Once a year, I do a masterclass in Ireland where I teach as a singer and also do the performance coaching for singers. And we have different scenarios. We have the Liederabend scenario. We also have the opera scenario. And it's amazing that most singers struggle more with standing still than with moving on stage, because the movement gives you other possibilities. While if you stand there and be completely pure with your voice, that can be scary sometimes. And also you start with your hands doing something, or you're moving in the wrong way. And that's something, it's more about the awareness than of actually doing anything with it. But it's about being aware of your body and being aware how you want to be presented to an audience.
Yeah, of course, because that's also what the audience focus on or fixate on is also the whole appearance, isn't it?
It's an experience. If you sing, I mean, if you have the most beautiful voice in the world, that's amazing. But you also need to have some kind of show gene. You have to know, if you go on stage, that you sell yourself to an audience, and they are very, very welcomed, and they really love to give you their time, and you have the possibility to make their time great. But I think it's important to communicate with an audience on any level possible, and that it's always more than singing. It's always more than just singing. And if you only want singing, you can listen to a CD. But if you are on stage, you want to have some kind of storytelling, expression, and it doesn't have to be too much. We don't talk about putting sugar on the marmalade on a bread to make it even sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. No, it's just about making sure that what you want to say and what you want to express will arrive in the audience. And it can be you being still on stage, not breathing, just standing there in the light for 2 hours, maybe. I don't know. I think it's just how we do it and that we know how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. But Niels, tell me now, 8-year-old Niels, when you were 8, did you imagine being here, what you're doing?
No, no. I was always with my animals. I had so many animals.
Really?
As a child, I had ducks and dogs and rabbits, and my great-grandfather was the ornithologist, so I always was in the forest looking at those birds, and I knew I wanted to become a veterinary. I was like, of course I'll become a veterinary. And I always loved to sing, I always loved to act, I always loved to dance. It was always, I become a veterinary and a singer, I become a postman and a singer, I become a chef and a singer. And and now those are my hobbies, and now those are my passions besides singing. And when I was 8, I never thought I would become a singer or like somebody on stage or somebody anyone could be interested in. No,
Really?
never. No.
That's so interesting because some people already think. I mean, they say the dream is only 20% of what actually happens. You know, we can only imagine 20% of what we become or what we actually happen, or what actually happens. So, I always wonder, you know, these little essays we wrote when we were little. What do you want to be one day?
Yeah.
And you wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yes, I think my dream of becoming a singer became true realistic when I was around 15 or 14, because that's when I sang regularly in opera houses, where I started really singing a lot as a boy soprano still, and I knew that's what I love. I loved how I can move people when I was younger, and I loved how much fun it was on stage. And it is something I'm really burning for this. Like it's my big passion, and it's the only thing I can do well, and it's the only thing I want to do well, and I love it. And I could not live without it, to be honest. So it's not only a dream for me, it's like it's necessary for me to do it.
A way of expressing yourself. So what do you do when you're not singing? You said now you've got a lot of hobbies. So what is it that you do?
Yes, when I'm not singing, I am mostly traveling, because I have really many friends all over Europe, which I love to visit, and we spend time together. We cook together. I love to be in restaurants. I love good food. It's one of my passions. I love to eat well. I love to discover new cultures through food. And then I'm always with my dad. We're on a hike together, or we're in the nature. Really important for me to be in the nature and to be with him. And with my family, I have 3 godchildren, which I love to see as much as possible. And with my partner, he's from Spain, from Segovia, close to Madrid. So we're always flying and trying to see the families. And yes, as I said, I do some art also. I love artwork. So I'm always creating new things, new shows, new choreographies. I'm in the studio dancing with my dancers. It's never boring, to be honest. And sometimes the beautiful things, like going to a cinema and seeing a beautiful movie. I think it's also important and very, very good to relax. I'm not a person who actually, I don't see many operas in my free time. I love it. I love to see my friends on stage. But for me, when I go to the opera house or when I see concerts, I'm already in work mood. I think, okay, what would I do differently, or what do I love about it? Why do I love it? Then in this moment, I already cannot enjoy the moment anymore. So it's I'm different to many of my friends who love to go to the concert and to the opera house. I'm a bit different. I like to go there, but it has to have a meaning. I have to know why I go there, and then I can enjoy it. But I'm never like, oh my God, tonight there's Wozzeck, baby. Let's go and see Wozzeck. Because then I just know I will think about the singers, about the staging, about the light. What did they do different to my other production I saw? And then I cannot relax.
Yeah, I actually heard a ballet dancer say that as well, that she cannot go and watch a ballet and relax because she's either self-critical at the moment or just a little bit critical, you know, of
I'm a critical colleague because I think everybody who steps on stage and who does his job, I have my greatest respect. Like, how many times were people singing ill on stage and still made it work? They have my greatest respect, and I'm really, I never would say, oh, I can't go there. This guy sings like this, and I was never this kind of person. But I also think I'm not important enough to say that. I'm an artist. I'm not even a real opera singer somehow, and I love singing opera, but like I'm a countertenor, so I also sing lead, I also sing oratorio, and I just admire those people who are able to make their living by singing on stage. So that's not my motive. It's more about self-critical things, yes, or like the aesthetic of the production or something like this.
But now tell me, what is your wish for the future?
That's a good question. My wish is to build my own music theater company where I'm able to have a collaboration with maybe a great TV production where I can really focus on opera, on a project with my singers and staging and an own orchestra and own musicians, own dancers, own actors, and really make it work in an LGBT plus friendly community. And it's always about the people, about their talent, and not about body image or whatever. And to really create inclusive but still marketable opera productions on the highest possible level, musically, artistically. And that I really want to do as an artistic director and as a singer. And then I would love my pop career to go on because I'm enjoying it. I think it's beautiful. I have so much more projects now in the pipeline in this kind of way. I could imagine going to Eurovision Song Contest one day, for example. That's something we talk about. And just find the right productions where I can sing as an artist and have the chance to perform roles I really love, like Oberon, Jules Cesare. And there's a lot to come next season also. I'm really happy about that. And I think Corona helped me to focus on my dreams differently. Like 2 years ago, it was about singing in every major opera house in the world as soon as possible, as much as possible. And now it's about singing the roles I really love in the best houses, of course, if possible, of course, but to stay true to your own artistry and your own talent. And that's something which already helped me a lot and already attracted the right people.
Really? Yeah. That's amazing. And you know, this is wonderful that you can bring something positive from this situation. You know, that you can see already the positive things that came about for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this is also, we maybe we had also a little more headspace to think about all these things, you know, that's just that standing still and just thinking that brought this time about. So, yeah. This is wonderful. I'm very excited about what you're doing because already what you're doing is very exciting and all your wishes, I hope they come true. But I hope to meet you in person one day, Nils. You are such a lovely person and such a wonderful artist. And when you come to Vienna, please let me know.
Yes.
I would love to come
absolutely.
And see. Yeah.
We will have some nice dinner. You will come to our show.
Oh, that would be so wonderful.
yes, let's see what the opera world holds for me in Vienna. There are also some ideas already and some proposals. Let's see, but I definitely will be there next year at Easter for those
Really?
Sonic Church project, which is amazing. It's beautiful. You will love it, I think.
I would so love to come and see. It sounds so wonderful what you're doing, really. And you've got such a wonderful energy. I'm sure all these wishes will come true for you.
Oh, thank you. Means a lot to me, really. Thank you.
Have a wonderful Christmas with your family.
I'm in Spain. Yes, I'm with my boyfriend's family, but we will celebrate Christmas here in Germany a little bit earlier, so we can all see each other. Today, actually, after this, I will go and make some plätzchen, some little
cookies
with my 3 godchildren. So we're busy. We're busy today.
Wow. This is great that you're doing that. And on these cookies, are they going to Spain? Are they going
I don't know if they will survive. I'm not sure about that, but maybe let's see if we can.
Okay. What is the Christmas like in Spain? Is it the same type of thing that they do as in Germany?
I would say in Spain, what I love about Spain is that it's like an open house. And my boyfriend lives in a village in the mountains in Segovia, and all of his friends, all the family, even not family, they're just coming and gather around. It's like a flowing thing. Like you never know if you come back from the living room or from the bedroom, who will be there, because they're always different people. And it's amazing food, of course, and beautiful people. I think it's really the Christmas spirit of being together and celebrating. And this year, of course, due to Corona, although Spain is number 1 and Europe with like the lowest Corona rate at the moment, the most vaccinated people, we will still have to be careful that everybody is not getting harmed by Corona, whatever. Yeah. But there are tests and everything, and so we have good food. I will sing a nice concert with an orchestra in Segovia.
Wonderful.
In the music hall. Really excited to do this. It's the first time that the family listens to me live. So it's like very, good.
Yeah.
And sing Purcell and Vivaldi and Handel, and yeah. So yes, it's beautiful at Christmas. And there's snow also, because I chose the only boyfriend who lives in an even colder place than me in Germany, in Spain.
Well, really?
I thought I get a summer house on the beach, but I get a house in the mountains. Well, it's beautiful. Love it.
So you say it's colder there, because I wanted to ask you if it's warm, if it's going to be nice and warm.
Maybe the same. When I'm lucky, it's the same.
Well, you should go to South Africa one year, because there you can have Christmas on the beach, so you don't have to have it in a cold mountain. So
sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. I'm ready, but I also love snow. It's fine. I'm happy with both.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But Nils, have a wonderful Christmas then with your family and with your partner, and I wish you all the best. And we'll see each other in the new year then.
Thank you so much for this interview. Okay. I'm really, really happy that we met online for now.
Yeah. No, me too, definitely. And I admire your work so much.
Thank you so much.
Nils, have a lovely day.
Thank you.
We'll speak to you soon.
Yes, have a great day. Thank you, Petra. Ciao.
Bye. Bye.